What's up, man?
You got the microphone down there?
I do.
Great.
You want it? Okay. I'm just gonna. How's it going? You want that? You have a question?
Just here hanging out?
So I'm here again with Infinite Logos, and we're just.
Oh, there's two. Nice.
Yeah, oh yeah. I have one else.
Mic check. 1, 2.
How's your week been? You've been here.
Bro.
You got your license.
I've been here since Saturday of last week, so that's like 8 days now at this point. By the way, man, I love that badge. I might have to go home and like play with stuff. I want to get something for mine. But no, yeah, I've been here since Saturday. So we were at HackerOne. We were doing a live hacking event, which if you don't know, those basically where we take top 1% of the researchers on our platform. We fly them out, pay for their hotel, their flight, their food, put them in a bubble with entertainment and their friends, and we just let them hack for a couple days straight, and they make millions of dollars in bounties during it.
So is it live bounties that they're hacking when they're here?
Yes.
Or is it a setup CTI?
No. These are live targets. So I can't release the customers from this past event, but we've done events in the past similar with some other organizations. And so, for example, trying to think through ones that I can actually talk about publicly. So last month we did an event with Salesforce and Zoom. It was just Sales and Zoom Force. And essentially it was the same exact format where we get the security teams from those customers, they fly in with us. And so we have, one venue where it's got HackerOne staff, HackerOne triage, security researchers, and the customers. We're all working collaboratively to find security issues on their real world assets. So if you find like a critical account takeover, SQL injection, or just a really impactful bug, you can report it to HackerOne. HackerOne will handle the triage in most cases, and then communicate with the customer team so that way they can go and get that fixed. And in exchange, they get paid a bounty. If it's more severe, you get more money.
And the primary thing about what Infinite is saying is this is the way to legally do it.
Yeah.
Like, this is not you at home knocking down someone's public website. When they're in the bug bounty part, let me know if I'm understanding it right.
Yeah.
The companies sign up to be in your bug bounty.
Yep.
There's a scope of engagement, a scope, because there's also things that you aren't supposed to touch. Right?
In some cases, yeah. You've got some programs like Yahoo is a great example where their scope is just so wide that you can basically have safe harbor to hack anything Yahoo. At least at time of recording, definitely check their program page and make sure that's true during when you want to go hack them. But yeah, I mean, that's the idea, right? It's like you find a vulnerability on one of these targets. It's all about responsible disclosure. And, HackerOne and some other bug bounty platforms are just there to make that process a little bit easier and actually incentivize it and make it rewarding along the way.
Okay. But the key part, one of the keys is, of course, keeping it legal, is to sign up for HackerOne.
Yeah.
and be granted access and the scopes and things of that nature before going out into the real world and doing that stuff.
I mean, there's a lot of public programs too that you can go and access directly. Like Nike is another company that has a public vulnerability disclosure program. They don't use HackerOne or Bugcrowd or any of the other platforms. They just have an intake form on their website, but they don't usually reward bounties either. And so, that's more of like, hey, I was on Nike.com, I found this critical issue. I'm going to let them know just because it's the right thing to do. And so, it's a way to responsibly disclose issues, but you can also make a ton of money doing it if you go to the right programs.
That's awesome. So, you were at Defcon 29 with us.
Yes.
By the way, if it doesn't come across, Infinite Logon is one of my is one of my better friends. Do you remember hearing at Defcon 29, which was, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know, was a smaller Defcon? Do you remember hearing that they had a problem at the end of the con packing away all the stuff because no one was stealing the signs, right? So they actually had to pack up this. They can't just leave it here. Most of the time, people will pay for the signs because, and I say that because I'm looking right at this flavor, and this is just nice, dude.
Dude, it's sick.
I'm thinking, I'm thinking we can get somebody to watch out for goons here.
You're getting some bad thoughts here.
I'm getting some bad thoughts. We're not going to do any of that, of course.
I mean, we're on camera, so if the sign happens to go missing, we don't know what happened.
Damn sure I know what happened.
I wasn't there. I didn't see nothing.
I also won't be back here in about an hour. But look, have you met anybody interesting here this year?
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. I mean, okay, so this is my favorite week of the year because you can't go anywhere without running into people you know.
Absolutely.
Or people that you've met online and never in person. I've been here since Saturday. We did a bunch of events before Defcon for HackerOne, and I got to see a lot of people for the first time that I've been talking to online. So my primary role at HackerOne is to manage our pen test community, and so I've got a community of like 120 pen testers that I talk with every day. But a lot of them I've never seen before, or never met them in person. And so I got to meet a bunch of them this week. And then, I was hanging out with some other people that, you just don't really get to see that often, that you talk to all year long. So it's been great.
I've seen all my coworkers here, to include my boss, because I am a pen tester by trade. But it's also cool when we're in a couple of really cool Discord communities across the room in the not vendor but the expedition area. I heard shit. Okay, and I look, and everyone in the room is now looking at me because I'm the only one over there, and they're turning around. I'm like, all right. And instead of the pink cowboy hat, runs over to me, hey man, and he gives me a hug. I'm like, yeah, we're doing this now. This is fine. And he's like, hey man, I practice. I'm like, all right. And I've had a bunch of deep conversations with this guy. He's been a bunch of groups of people. I would never, if he wouldn't have yelled my name, I wouldn't know what he looks like. I wouldn't know who he was. Yeah. But meetings like that are always awesome when the words on the screen turns into the person that's standing in front of you, or in this case, giving you a hug. Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, that is always one of the coolest parts about coming to these events. This is great, man. I'm kind of sad for the month.
Yeah, it always comes by. It goes too quick. So when the conference first starts, I'm already exhausted because I've been here for a while. And then I'm always like, oh, I want to go do that thing. It's okay. I can do it tomorrow. I can do it Sunday. There's always more time. And then here we are Sunday, and it's like I didn't do half the stuff I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And that. I think that's okay though. You've got to set your expectations that there's going to be more stuff here. Than there is time. Absolutely. And so just prioritize what you think is really the most important, and then don't feel bad for missing out, because you're gonna miss out on some things. But that's why there's always next year.
Right. And one of the things that I've been hearing recently from Silk and Jowry and even a couple of us, one thing to do at DEF CON is pick one thing that you want to do every day, one village you want to go to. Because you may be in line for a few hours for that one thing, which is a whole thing. There's a line time thing here. But there's no way to see everything. You just can't do it. I have a press badge. This doesn't give me special access, but I actually tried to see everything this year, and I know I didn't make it happen. I've been running around. I went to the other casinos, and it's like I can't do all of it. I did end up talking to a bunch of cool people, but
you know what I recommend? I recommend anybody who's watching this, find a local security meetup that's going on near you, because you can keep DEF CON alive throughout the year. You don't have to just do it at DEF CON, right? And obviously there's online communities, but it's not the same as being able to connect in person. So check out meetup.com, or just Google your area code. Yeah, B-Sides is amazing.
B-Sides, there's local DEF CON groups.
Get involved, man. Get involved in your local security groups. So I live in Portland, so we've got a 503 group of hackers and
great
security
people,
researchers.
By the way. I've met some of them.
Yeah, we threw a pretty crazy party. But yeah, no, there's just a lot of people that it's really cool. You can connect with, and you don't have to wait for DEF CON.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, build community where you're at, and if you look these things up and you don't have a community currently there, make your own. Seriously, post on meetup.com, post on Reddit, post on Twitter. It takes a while to build a community, but once you start building community, it's going to assist you in so many different ways. One, you'll have friends, which it's hard to make friends if you're always in front of a computer sometimes. But two, you'll be able to start networking and learn about cool projects other people are working on. Maybe you'll get inspired, and maybe you'll find new employment. Whatever it is whatever your goals are.
That's absolutely right. One thing I like the way you said that, keep DEF CON alive throughout the year. Always been doing something, and he's already also said share it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, one reason that I'm even here talking to people is I turned on my laptop camera on Twitch one day and did try hacking on the screen, and probably 3 streams in, the one first person ever come up and chat like, "Hey man, do you have audio?" And I've been talking the whole time to myself. I'm like, what? And then that grew into several other things that that we have now, man. But hey, Harley, it was good as always to see you. I need to maybe make my way out to Portland at some point to come hang out or something.
Yeah,
We
I'd
have
love
to see each other. Where do you live in Portland? I don't want to dox you.
No, I do. Yeah,
Okay.
I live in Portland. Feel free to come, dude. If you ever come to Portland, love to have you. Especially if you piggyback it off the time where we do a security meetup. I think we meet up like last Tuesday of every month or something like that. Maybe it's something like that. Yeah, dude, would love to see you in town, show you around. You know, like introduce you to my local community. And
Absolutely. And then you got to make a NovaCon too. So
Yeah.
we'll absolutely make a thing of it. But hey, good seeing you, good talking to you as
to you.
always. And this
You
is a
can-
normal conversation for us.
You can find me online, by the way. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Threads. I got a YouTube channel. Everything is at Infinite Longings.
Yep. And I'll put some of that data into the stream here specifically for this one. Have a good one, guys.